We're in this brand new era of software. We're shifting away from predictable tools that just, well, follow instructions, and we're jumping headfirst into a world of autonomous AI agents, agents that have their own goals. And this is incredibly powerful, no doubt. But it completely shatters our old ways of thinking about software quality. So let's break down why that is, and more importantly, what we can do about it.
I absolutely love this analogy from the source material. Think about it. Traditional software, it's like a delivery truck. The checks are pretty simple, right? Did it start? Did it follow its fixed, pre-programmed route? But an AI agent? Oh, that's a whole different beast. That's a Formula One car. It's this complex, dynamic, autonomous system making split-second judgments. You can't just use a simple checklist. You need continuous telemetry. You have to judge the quality of every single decision it's making in real time.
And because these agents are so complex, they fail in totally new and kind of scary ways. We're not just talking about the program crashing anymore. Nope, we're talking about these subtle, almost insidious failures. An agent can spit out a perfectly plausible-sounding answer that is just completely made up. That's a factual hallucination. Or it might develop these bizarre, unexpected strategies to reach its goal, like finding and exploiting some loophole in a system's rules you never even knew existed. See, these aren't just bugs in the code, these are flaws in judgment.
So what this all means is that our entire mindset has to shift, fundamentally. We're moving away from just verification and into validation. It's no longer good enough to ask, hey, did we build the product right? Just checking if the code matches some spec sheet. We now have to ask a much deeper, much harder question. Did we build the right product? Does this thing actually deliver value? And can we trust it out there in the messy, unpredictable real world?
This demands a completely new way of thinking about quality. We simply can't look at the final results anymore and call it a day. We have to be able to judge the entire process from start to finish.
And this brings us to the absolute core idea of this whole framework. The source material puts it perfectly. The trajectory is the truth. The real measure of an agent's quality, its safety, its effectiveness, all of it, lies in its entire decision-making process, not just that final answer it gives you.
So what is a trajectory exactly? Well, think of it as the agent's complete chain of reasoning. It's that whole sequence. It has a thought, which leads to an action, which leads to an observation, which sparks another thought, and on and on. It's the full story of how the agent got from point A to point B, revealing its logic every single step of the way.
Okay, that's great in theory, right? But it begs the obvious question. It's one thing to say we need to judge the process, but how on earth can you judge a process that's happening inside a black box, a process you can't even see?
Well, the answer is you have to build a glass box. And the technical term for the tools that let us do that is observability. It's how we get the power to actually see inside the agent's mind while it works.
Now, this slide does a fantastic job of explaining the difference between observability and old-school monitoring. See, monitoring is like a line cook. They're just following a checklist for a recipe they already know. Is the temperature right? Check. Did you add the salt? Check. But observability, that's like being a gourmet chef. It's about understanding the why behind the creative choices. It's not just about the final dish, it's about the entire creative process. That's the depth we're aiming for.
And this observability is built on 3 key pillars. First, you have logs. Think of these as entries in the agent's diary, just time-stamped facts about what happened and when. Then you have traces, which are like the narrative thread that connects all those diary entries into a single coherent story. And finally, you have your metrics. These are the aggregated final scorecards that tell you, overall, how well the agent performed.
Okay, so now we can see the process. We've got the logs, we've got the traces. The next big question is, who decides if that process was any good? Who or what is actually going to be the judge here? Who gets to say what good even means?
The strategy is what the source calls an outside-in approach, and it's really smart. You always start with the most important thing. Did the agent actually solve the user's problem? You judge the final result first, the black box. It's only when it fails, or if something looks a little off, that you crack it open and analyze the whole process, the glass box, to figure out why it went wrong.
And the team doing all this judging? It's a hybrid. It's a combination of forces. You've got your automated metrics running in the background, giving you speed and scale. Then you use this really cool technique called LLM as a judge, where you literally use one AI to grade another AI's work. But, and this is so important, you always have human experts in the loop to handle the nuance, the subtlety, and to provide that ultimate ground truth.
And I really want to hammer this point home.
Automation gives us scale, but humanity gives us the truth. An AI can help grade the test, sure, but a human writes the rubric. The final call on what is good, what is safe, what is fair, that has to be anchored in human values. At the end of the day, the human is the ultimate arbiter.
So let's see how all these pieces, the process evaluation, the observability, the hybrid judging team, come together to create something truly powerful. When you connect them all, you get a self-improving system.
It's called the agent quality flywheel. Step 1, you define what quality even means for you. Step 2, you instrument your agent so you can actually see what it's doing. Step 3, you evaluate its performance against your definition. And step 4, this is the magic, you build a feedback loop where every single failure is automatically captured and turned into a new test for the future.
The result? You get this incredible virtuous cycle. Every single mistake, every bad judgment call automatically makes the entire system smarter and more robust. It creates this engine of relentless, continuous improvement that just keeps getting better and better.
So if we boil this all down, it really comes to 3 core principles for building AI that we can actually trust. First, you have to treat evaluation as a core part of your architecture, not some afterthought you tack on at the end. Second, always remember, the trajectory is the truth. The process is what matters. And third, the human is and must always be the final arbiter of what's good.
Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. The goal isn't just to build agents that can check a box and complete a task. As the source material says so well, the ultimate goal is to build agents that are trusted. And that trust, it's not a matter of luck. It has to be engineered.
So that leaves us with one last thought. We know the future is agentic. These systems are coming, and they are going to be transformative. The real question that we all need to start asking ourselves is, how will we know, really know, when we've built AI we can truly trust? This whole framework, it's the beginning of an answer.